Hey everyone, and to all of my Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and to all of my Totally Walking Dudes and Dudettes, and to all of my peeps and keeps. I hope that you're all doing well. It is I, Claire, once again, back once again with a new video. Once again. Fines will be handed out to employees in Wales if they are not working from home with good reason. For Monday, workers will receive a £60 fixed penalty notice. Till now, there has been guidance encouraging work from home. There will be no restrictions on how many people can get together for Christmas in England, but Boris Johnson has said the spread of the Omicron variant will be closely monitored and Scotland is introducing new measures from Boxing Day. The PM has said no measures were required before Christmas, even though there is no doubt that Omicron continues to surge with a speed unlike anything we've seen before. Instead, he said people should exercise caution and follow guidance, including keeping fresh air circulating and taking a test before visiting vulnerable and elderly relatives. Restrictions in England don't include limits on socialising, so people are legally allowed to have friends and family over Christmas or to meet in places like pubs and nightclubs. Don't mix with people you don't have to for either work or for family things. He urged people to prioritise events which really matter to them. People should cancel work Christmas parties and limit time spent with other households. If families do socialise, they are advised to meet just 2 other households either side of Christmas. Keep celebrations as small as family circumstances allow. Everyone should be vaccinated and must test in advance. Rooms should be well ventilated. Hygiene rules should be followed. Care home residents will only be able to see people from 2 households in a single visit. Hospital patients will only be able to have 2 visitors at a time. New restrictions come into force after Christmas. From the 26th of December, all outdoor events will be limited to 500 people. Indoor events such as concerts will be limited to 200 people if they're seated, or 100 for standing. It means football matches will be largely spectator-free, and Edinburgh's Hogmanay, if I'm saying that right, Hogmanay party has been cancelled. Physical distancing of 1 metre will need to be in place for all events that do go ahead. And pubs and other hospitality venues selling alcohol will need to reintroduce table service from the 27th of December. These rules will be in place for at least 3 weeks. Wales has put guidance in place in the run-up to Christmas and will introduce tougher legal restrictions after Christmas. Before Christmas, everyone was advised to get vaccinated, take a lateral flow test before socialising, going shopping or visiting people, and do not go out if it's positive. Meet outdoors if possible, but if meeting indoors, make sure the area is well ventilated. Limit your socialising, especially with vulnerable or older people, and space it out. Excuse me. Take care to socially distance, wear a face mask and wash your hands. The regulations will also be changed to include requirements to work from home if possible. From the 26th of December, spectators will be banned from all sports events. From the 27th of December, so the next day, the 2 metre social distancing rule returns in offices and extra measures must be put in place to protect customers and staff, such as one-way systems and physical barriers. Nightclubs will also have to close. The NHS COVID pass is already needed for entry into nightclubs, cinemas, theatres and concert halls and many other indoor and outdoor events. There's no requirement to socially distance outside. A maximum of 30 people from an unlimited number of households can meet indoors. Social distancing should be maintained as possible. Shoppers are asked to maintain physical distance from each other if possible. Face coverings are compulsory in shops, indoor seated venues, visitor attractions, public transport and other places unless you're exempt. Vaccine passports are required for venues including nightclubs, bars and cinemas. The Prime Minister says no tougher COVID restrictions will be introduced in England before Christmas. However, Scotland's First Minister has announced a tightening of rules in Scotland to come into force on Boxing Day. Boris Johnson said introducing tougher measures in England was currently not justified. He urged people to wear masks indoors when required to do so, keep fresh air circulating, and take a test when visiting elderly or vulnerable relatives. 26th December, there will be limits on the size of live events for 3 weeks. This means the cancellation of many Hogmanay events, again, am I saying that right? Including Edinburgh's main celebration. Football matches will be effectively spectator-free, and non-professional indoor contact sports will be stopped during this period. Private events like weddings are not included. So from the 27th December, pubs, bars and other hospitality venues will return to table service only. 1 metre social distancing is advised in these settings with no more than 3 groups available. With no more than 3 households in each group. People are asked to minimise mixing in the Christmas period and limit social contact with other households. Shops and businesses to take measures to stop the spread of COVID, such as screens in shops and crowd controls in bars. Care home residents can only have visitors from 2 households who will need to be tested. Employers have a legal duty to let staff work from home. Face coverings compulsory on public transport and most indoor spaces. All over 18s required to prove their vaccine status. People are being urged to take LFTs before mixing with other households. First Minister said the rules will be reviewed after 3 weeks. People need to say that they're vaccinated, have recently tested negative or exempt, and can enter nightclubs and other venues. Face coverings are compulsory in most indoor public venues, including theatres and cinemas. People should work from home if they can, and they are advised to take lateral flow tests before entering any high-risk setting. Spectators will be banned from all sports events in Wales on the 26th of December. Nightclubs are to close on the 27th of December. Social distancing will be reintroduced when shops and workplaces reopen after Christmas. People are asked to socialise less, especially if you are seeing older or more vulnerable people over Christmas and to space meetings out. He urged people to take lateral flow tests before going out, to meet outdoors if possible, and to make sure indoor spaces are well ventilated. NHS COVID pass needed for entry. The nightclubs, cinemas, theatres, concert halls and many other events and places. Working from home whenever possible. Compulsory face coverings in schools and public transport and in shops and hospitals. Advice to wear masks in pubs and restaurants when not eating or drinking. A limit of 30 people from different households. Mixing homes, face coverings compulsory in shops. Indoor seated venues and visitor attractions, public transport. Post-primary pupils must wear a face covering inside school buildings as well as on school transport. Staff are encouraged to wear masks in school areas where they can't socially distance. COVID passport scheme for venues, including nightclubs, bars and cinemas, work from home if possible. We have now had weeks and weeks of dire warnings of the Omicron wave. Nightclubs were ordered to close as of the 27th of December, and social distancing restrictions were reintroduced in workplaces, but no limits on social contact were introduced. Whilst government banned spectators from sport events starting on Boxing Day, it seems unlikely ministers would reimpose restrictions on social contact, used trying to make dining and drinking safer. Seems unlikely Welsh ministers will put the country into a stay-at-home lockdown right now. Nightclubs will close on the 27th of December and social distancing and officers will be reintroduced. Measures will be put into place to protect customers and staff, such as one-way systems and barriers. Face masks are still required in most public places. 20th December, it's a law to work from home if possible. Facing fines if they go into workplaces if they can work remotely. The majority of COVID restrictions are lifted in Wales. Limits on who you can meet come to an end. People are allowed to have anyone at home. They have to self-isolate if they're identified as close contact. advising people to reduce contact with others, especially seeing older or more vulnerable people over Christmas. It's now an offence not to work from home if you're able. It's advised meeting outdoors if possible and to make sure indoor meetings are well ventilated. You can, and international travel is allowed, although local rules on quarantine will apply. Nightclubs will close on the 27th of December. This means they will be closed on New Year's Eve. Live sporting activities take place outdoors. On Boxing Day, fans were banned from all sporting events in Wales. Pupils are set to return later than planned for the start of the new spring term in January. It's unclear at this stage whether schools will close and teach classes online. 20th December rules will change, meaning it's now the law to work from home if you can. Care homes could ban visits due to the rapid spread of the Omicron variant. However, no official guidance has been issued. Means people from other parts of the UK can come here. So yeah. Sucks, but what can you do? And I think, Danny, if you are watching, you should definitely think about going into a career in modelling, because that picture definitely needs to be on front of like a male modelling magazine, to be honest, because I can just see it in your future. Because, you know, that is kind of like acting, but you're more like posing for like the camera. So, yeah. As long as you don't think about like posing nude, then that's fine. Not that you would, I'm just saying. And yeah, we were just like talking about stuff. Yeah. Just about life in general, really. That's what we were talking about. So, yeah. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you see, please feel free to leave a like, comment down below, share this video and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. This has been your girl Claire saying peace out and love to all my Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Keep on rocking your totally awesome rocking deeds and dudettes, and be yourself, and stay loyal, my pros and progresses, and stay loyal, my princes and princesses and peeps and keeps. And peace out, good night, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Peace out.